First of all, my name's Krish, and I hope young men improve their mental health. Just very quickly in the description is just my Discord username if you just want to add me. So let's talk about why your friends are making your mental health worse. So back when I used to be a video game connoisseur, right? 15, 16 hours per day, every single day. I'm not even joking when I say that. Literally, I used to play video games to the point where when I would stop playing, I couldn't even get up from my computer chair because my legs were so sore. You know what I mean? You know, times when it's like you sit down for a very long period of time, your legs you try and get up and it's oh man, it's kind of sore and stiff and whatnot. Literally, I couldn't move. I couldn't even move them. Literally, could not. So, and obviously, for a long time, I used to play video games alone, but then I started to develop friends who also, again, I'm going to keep doing this when I say friends, and I'll explain why later on. But I started to develop friends when I used to play video games, right? Because, your interests align, and you meet other people who play the same video games. Whoa, you play this video game too? It's yeah, man. It's we should play together sometime. And so, for a long time, I had this group of friends who only used to, we only used to be friends when we used to play video games. And that's it. They weren't my friends at all. Those people, they actually weren't my friends. They actually also made my mental health worse. And I'll explain why. The reason why people I play games with were not my friends was because the only times that I would see them, the only times that I would be around with them was when I was playing the game. In real life, we went to the same school and stuff. And I guess we still used to talk to each other and whatnot. But after I got into self-improvement, after I started to improve my mental health, after I wanted to improve my life and stop wasting time playing video games, guess what happened to the friendship? It disappeared. I didn't speak to them for a very, very long time. Very long time. I still see them in school and whatnot, and I still have to just deal with them. They might be watching this video, I'm not even gonna lie. If so, you know who I'm talking about. You know who you are. And it wasn't just them, it was also people just online. Because there was people who I used to play with, Fortnite or something like that. There's people I used to play video games with who were just online friends, right? And so a lot of them, they were just, quite frankly, just dicks. They were just dickheads. They were just assholes. Because every single time when we used to play the video, those times, right? When you're playing a video game and it's you're playing Call of Duty or something, and you're the zone's closing in, it's you're maybe one of the last few people standing, then you get sniped halfway across the map. Now, really, technically speaking, it's not really anyone's fault because the guy could have been hacking, the guy could have been just camping in one spot. But you know what my friends did? First of all, they were emotional, so they basically just had no emotional control. And so they just let their anger out on me. And they were oh no, but you did this and you did this and why did you do that and stuff like that. And I feel as though I just took the blame for everything, I'm not gonna lie. In the squad, there's always one person that you have to blame because nobody wants to take responsibility, because we're talking about video game addicts here. We're not talking about responsible people who want to improve their life. And so even I don't know why, but for a long time I just took it. I just took it. I never really fought back or anything. I used to rage sometimes. I used to throw my controller. I used to be you know what I mean? But I never used to rage like they did. And not only did they do that, but for some reason they also just created a bunch of group chats specifically without me for some reason. I don't know why. But I remember just feeling just invisible around them. I would always feel invisible around those types of people. Even when I was a chronic video game addict, I would always feel invisible. Everybody, I remember hopping on a Discord call, hopping on an Xbox Live call. Everybody would be playing, everybody would be having a good time. I'd be sitting there. I'd be playing as well. And I don't know, I just felt just lonely at the time. Because they wouldn't really talk. I would say something in the microphone, I'd say it loud, everybody could hear me. Nobody would pay attention, nobody would say anything, nobody would do anything. And whenever I I think we used to play like a bunch of like Fortnite creative like battles or something like that. Like they wouldn't even acknowledge my presence half the time, and every time they used to like kill me, always make fun of me. They would always say this, and they would just like general just like dicks, because when they weren't ignoring me, they were just making fun of me, or they were just yelling at me for something that I didn't even do, right? So they were just general dickheads. And when I got into self-improvement, when I started to improve my mental health, I met people who were in like that kind of like that same area, who were in the gym, who played sports, who were like happier, just like healthier, just like kinder people. Like those are the best types of people to be around, just like kind people, right? And so then I stopped talking to the video gamers as much. And that's when I finally realized, like after a long time, like those people were never my friends in the first place. Because true friends are not instant gratification buddies. If your friendship revolves around playing games, if your friendship revolves around taking drugs, if your friendship revolves around some kind of substance, because video games is still a substance, by the way. If you can be addicted to it, it is a substance. If it revolves around a substance, it's not friendship at all. Why? Because the only times you're going to see each other is when you're like being a degenerate, basically. It's the only times you're going to see each other is when you're playing the game. That's the first thing. And the second thing is like these people are just dickheads. These people are just assholes in general. They don't care about you. They really don't. And you might say like, oh no, but they actually do, and stuff like that. And like, if you were friends before you played video games, maybe like a childhood friend, for example, you knew him for like a very, very long time, then yeah, the friendship might be genuine, fine. But if it's just around video games, it's not real friendship, it's just shit. It's just like an instant gratification, like partner, basically. And real friendship is not that. Real friendship is not you. It's not them encouraging you to basically just waste time. Do you think real friends really encourage you to waste time? Do you think real friends really encourage you to like do things that would basically just like be 100% net negative? No, right? Real friendship is not that. Real friendship is brotherhood and growth. It's about supporting each other in whatever endeavor that it is, when whatever like thing that you genuinely want to do that's not a bad habit. Friends are people who actually want to see you grow and improve. Friends are people who actually support you, be kind to you, but will also slap you in the face when they know when you're being a loser, right? It's those types of people. Friendship is not those people who you just take substances with. So those people aren't your real friends. And why they made my mental health worse was because they were just dickheads. When you spend time with like people who are just like dicks for no reason, they're just assholes. Of course they're gonna like worsen your mental health. One, because being around like dickheads in general, just like assholes. For me, it started to view a lot. Like it made me view like everybody just way more negatively. Not only that, but it also like, you know, like you're being insulted every single day, you're being made fun of every single day. Of course that's gonna be bad for your mental health. You're just basically just getting bullied every single day. How could that not be bad for your mental health? And so if you have respect for yourself, you're never going to speak to these people ever again. Now, sure, you might say, like, oh, no, but I have school with them, I have this and this and this. And yeah, maybe that at that time you're just going to have to deal with them. But these people, don't mistake it for friendship. These people are not your friends, because listen, just because you spend time with people doesn't make them your friends. That's not what friendship is. Friendship is about brotherhood and growth together. That's what real friendship is. You might spend time with somebody. That doesn't make them your friend. I think Mike Tyson said this quote, which is like, anybody that like some people that hurt you, or like I don't know exactly remember what the quote was, but it's like some people that hurt you aren't like everybody that hurts you isn't your enemy necessarily, and everybody that like helps you isn't your friend necessarily. Now, like, you know, like if someone helps you and then you like develop a bond and you like grow with them, then yeah, that's obviously a friend. But you can spend time with people, you can talk to them, you can laugh with them, and they're not necessarily your friends. And like that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like a bad thing. But in this case, in this very particular case, when it's revolving around basically an addiction, it is. If you have respect for yourself, you will never speak to these people ever again. That's it. You're never gonna do it, because they're bad for your mental health. They're bad for your like overall well-being. Why would you be hanging around people who are just like are just gonna make your mental health worse. You wanna hang around with like kind people. You wanna hang around with like people who actually want to see you improve, who want to see you grow, who actually support you in what you do, but will also call you out when they know like you've made a mistake, for example. That's what like a real friend is. It's not about instant gratification. It's not about just like, because I guarantee you this, you're probably not going to speak to a lot of the people that you see ever again. If you're in high school right now or like college or something, it's like people who you hang around with, you're probably never going to speak to them ever again. Maybe not even, maybe like for some like high school reunion or something like that. But apart from that, it's like, really think about it. Because a lot of like, I guess like friendships they're just situational. There's no real connection. There's no real bond there. It's just like, okay, we're placed in a same sort of like, we're placed in an environment. And so we just like talk to each other. And a lot of people think that's friendship. That's not. Real friendship is about you and the other person wanting each other to improve, about caring about the other person, about like supporting them in their goals and in their dreams, and also them supporting you as well. But it's also about them and you keeping each other responsible, keeping each other accountable. It's about both of you calling each other out when you know for a fact that that other person is being a loser. Sometimes they might be like doing something that's like not aligned to their goals. They might be doing something that's like bad for their health. So you call them out on that, but not out of disrespect. It's not out of disrespect. It's not out of like wanting to like berate the other person, but it's out of basically just like tough love, of basically just like wanting the other person to become better. Does that make sense? These people, they don't want you to become better. These people, I promise you, those people have never really cared about me ever. Not once. Never, not once. So why should I associate with them? And a lot of these people, like they actively made fun of me for being on self-improvement. They actively made fun of me for trying to improve. Think about that. These people will actively make fun of you for trying to improve your mental health, for watching these kind of videos, for taking action. Why? Well, because you remind them of what they could have been if they just put in the work. When you start taking action on these videos, when you actually start like becoming more disciplined, when you start like improving basically just your well-being, number one, you start to develop respect for yourself. So you start hanging out with these like degenerate, like low quality people, like assholes, quite frankly. And I promise you, like, you can't keep hanging around with these people. Even like you might say like right now, like, oh no, I don't have any friends. And that might be the case, but here's the thing. I know this might seem crazy, but sometimes being lonely for just a little bit, not forever, just a little bit. I think I was watching a podcast where it was Chris Williamson, Alex Hormozi. They talked about like the lonely chapter, for example, where it's like you are too advanced for your previous group of friends. You don't fit in with them, but you don't have like the skills and the results to fit in with a new group of friends. So you're kind of in this like gray, like androgynous, like middle. It's called like the lonely chapter, for example. And yeah, of course you can also find people who are in this chapter. You can find people who, for example, are like around the same level as you, and you can actually make friends with them, and that's actually a really good experience. I only have a few friends who are like that. And when you start taking action, when you start improving your life, these people are really going to show their true colors. These people are going to make fun of you for going to the gym. These people are going to make fun of you for being healthy. These people are going to make fun of you for wanting to improve your overall well-being. These people are not your friends. They're making your mental health worse. When you, in general, right? You hang around with people who just don't care about you, your mental health is going to get worse. And so if you have any respect for yourself, you will never speak to these people ever again, unless you like really have to, because you're in the same class or something like that. But other than that, it's like, why speak to these people? Why not make friends with people who, again, genuinely care about you, genuinely want to see you grow and improve? Does that make sense? So that's it. That's really, I know I just went on like a rant for most of this video. But if you made it to the end, you should actually be really, really proud of yourself, because most people have already clicked off. Most people can't just watch like a 19-minute and 7-second video. So hope me just like ranting towards the camera about friends helped you for a little bit. Take care.